Hey guys, Chef Ben from St. Burch, back at you for round 2 of the Burch box. This is for if you got the meat only or the combo. We have this really beautiful Wagyu Zabuton steak. So Zabuton is a Japanese word. It refers to a shape, actually. That's what they refer to, this like square pillow. And it's a piece of the shoulder that is actually resembling that same shape as that Zabuton pillow. The really beautiful thing about this cut is it's got all the flavor from a locomotion muscle, but the way they butcher it, it keeps it super tender, so you can actually sear it like a prime steak, like a ribeye or a strip. So really beautiful Wagyu. Check this out. So you can see that marbling right there. That's what you're looking for. That fat is flavor, it's tenderness. It's just a really beautiful, thick cut of meat. So I'm gonna make kind of a chefy dish, but it's really easy to do at home. So the steak itself, we're just gonna salt and pepper it. We're gonna sear it hot and fast in a cast iron. Try to cook it to like rare, medium rare. And then alongside that, I'm gonna do some glazed carrots, some snap peas, some pea shoots, and then this really nice like ginger carrot butter sauce. That comes together really easily. And then lastly, I sourced a really nice smoked soy sauce. I would use any high-end soy sauce you can get, even just like an organic tamari would be really great. So it kind of gives this dish a little bit of an Asian flavor profile with the ginger, but it's also kind of very French. It's got butter, it's got the beautiful vegetables. It's a really cool dish. I think you'll impress your friends. So let's get cooking. All right, here is our mise en place for this dish. Once again, mise en place is the French term, everything in its place. So we have all of our ingredients ready to go. They've been prepared. We got our pan over low heat for glazing vegetables. We have our cast iron that's been heating up over medium heat. You can see a little bit of wisps of smoke happening right there. So we have the Zabuton steak. We're gonna season liberally with salt and cracked pepper. We have some very briefly blanched snap peas. I trimmed them, cut them in a bias, and then cooked them in heavily salted boiling water for about 30 seconds. Shock them in an ice bath, and that preserves this beautiful green color and this nice crisp texture. Got some baby carrots trimmed and halved, some pea shoots, a little lemon, and then this is for my sauce. This is a little carrot and ginger juice. You could buy it, you can make it, you can omit it if you don't want to and just sub water, no big deal. We have some minced ginger, some minced shallot, a little bit of whole butter, unsalted, and a dry Sauvignon Blanc. I would definitely say dry is better than, you don't want any residual sweetness, because when that wine reduces, that sugar gets really out of balance and it makes an unbalanced sauce. So, all right, here we go. The first thing we're gonna do is season this Zabuton with a little bit of kosher salt. You know, I say liberally, but really I'm gonna go a little bit lighter than I normally would because we are serving it with smoked soy sauce. And obviously that soy sauce is gonna have a lot of salinity. So I know this looks like a decent amount of salt, but really that's a nice thick cut of meat. And you need a decent amount of salt for it to really have the flavor that we want. A little bit of cracked pepper on both sides. And then normally I would let this sit about 5 minutes. Let that salt, that seasoning really start to get into the meat and penetrate. That way when you throw it in your hot pan, all that salt that's on the outside doesn't just fall off in the oil and go away. All right, our cast iron pan has been heating over medium-high heat for about 20 minutes. Make sure it's nice and evenly distributed. I'm actually gonna turn it all the way up to high so that we can really get this nice crust that we're going for. Got a little bit of canola oil. And you can see how that starts to instantly wisp smoke and really start to get kind of shimmery. You want to really make sure that your oil and your pan are hot enough before you put that steak. Otherwise, you just won't get the sear that you're looking for. Steak's gonna go in, and that's what you want to hear right off the bat is that nice sizzle. So while that steak's going, we're gonna get going on our glazed vegetables. Really, it's glazed carrots. I'm gonna start with just a little bit of oil. And then I have my shallot and ginger. you don't see that oil kind of sizzling right next to your vegetables or your shallots and your garlic and or ginger, it tells me that you probably don't have quite enough oil. So I usually just give it another little tiny dollop. Throw my carrots in. Not really looking to color these carrots, so I'm actually going to splash some wine right away. Get that steaming process happening. Then I'm going to add just a little bit of water, about halfway up the vegetables, and turn this up to high. We just want to bring this up to a simmer, and then let this ginger, shallot, water, wine kind of just reduce around the carrot. The ideal is that the carrots are perfectly cooked when that water starts to kind of glaze. Then we'll add our ginger carrot juice, reduce that a little bit, and then we'll mount it with some butter, finish it with some salt and lemon juice. Okay, so the steak is searing up nicely. I hit it on both of the large sides, and now I'm just kind of gently rotating it on all 6 sides so I get a nice even cook. I'm looking for probably an internal temperature of about 120 degrees. We still got a ways to go. This says 85, but it comes up really slow at the beginning when it's cold. So be careful because it can jump from 80 to 90 to 130 really fast. So once this gets up to 120, I'll let it rest with my ideal finished cooking temperature. After it's rested, about 125 degrees for rare, verging on medium rare. The carrots here are getting kind of glazy. The water's reduced almost all the way. I'm gonna real quick just kind of add my pea shoots in here just to wilt them down, and add my peas just to warm them back up. Use this opportunity to season a little bit. And that's all we want to do for these guys. My peas are already cooked. You just gotta warm them up. The tendrils start to wilt down right away. The carrots are kind of al dente. Remove all this, leaving behind the little bit of wine and ginger and shallot liquid that's left behind. And this is gonna be the base of our sauce. This is when I'm gonna add my carrot ginger juice and let that just start to cook down. All right, I'm gonna pull this steak off and let him rest, and then move my carrot over to the high burner. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit, and then we'll finish this sauce. The last thing we need to do is finish this sauce. You can kind of see it's reduced quite a ways. There's just maybe, 2 tablespoons worth of liquid left. So I'm gonna cut the heat. Anytime we're finishing a sauce with butter, it's really important that you let it kind of cool down. You don't want it to be right off the simmer. If it does, that butter will break immediately and you'll end up with a really kind of greasy, oily looking sauce. We want that butter to stay nice and emulsified. So by taking it off the heat, that allows it to cool down, and then I'm gonna throw all my butter in. It's pretty important that your butter is cold for that same reason. If you had room temperature butter, it's just really too quick to melt. So I'm just gonna kind of let this slowly emulsify in and create this little luxurious velvety butter sauce. if you felt like it was too hot, a really easy way to cool it down is just splash a little bit of your lemon or a tiny bit of water just to bring that temperature down rapidly. And you know you're doing it right when it, it doesn't look greasy. It looks like just a nice, nice creamy sauce. I will squeeze a little bit of lemon. A little acidity just livens it up. Once this last of this butter's melted, we'll get to plating. All right, if you can see that, we're at 126. So pretty good, pretty spot on. We're just gonna start to plate. Take a little bit of my peas, maybe half of them, my peas and my pea shoots. Lay them down on one side. And then I'm just gonna kind of let these carrots create this nice arc on the side of the plate. I'll finish with a few more of these peas. And we'll slice our steak. All right, fan those out nicely. Like that. And then lastly, our butter sauce. Just gonna kind of glaze these vegetables with this sauce. And then if you had some carrot tops, and that look nice, feel free to use them as garnish. If you don't, no big deal. But these look pretty good, so I'm just gonna kind of lay these over the top. It's got a nice carrot flavor, nice green vegetable note. Plus it looks kind of nice. So that's the idea. And then I'm just gonna serve this soy sauce on the side for dipping. Just take a piece of that steak, swipe it through the soy sauce, and eat it with your vegetables. Enjoy, guys. If you're feeling frisky and you want to try this recipe, let me know how it goes for you. Does it look like mine? Let me know how I can help. Make you a better chef. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate it. Bye.